From the ashes, the holographic projection of the Krillian homeworld hovered before Commander Maya Chen, its crystalline spires gleaming like teeth in the dim light of the war room. 3,000 years had passed since the Krillian Empire had turned Earth into a molten grave, yet the pain remained as fresh as yesterday. Fleet status, Maya demanded, her voice carrying the weight of command that had guided humanity's remnants through centuries of exile. "All vessels report ready, Commander," replied Tactical Officer Darius Reed. "The Vengeance Fleet is assembled and awaiting your order." Maya studied the faces around her, descendants of the desperate few who had escaped Earth's destruction. Some wore expressions of grim determination, others barely concealed bloodlust. All carried the genetic memory of a homeworld they had never known, passed down through generations until it became something holy, something worth dying for. 3,000 years, she said, touching the emblem on her chest, a stylized image of Earth, whole and blue. "Today, we return the favor." The memories came unbidden, as they often did, not her own, but those of her ancestor, Dr. Eliza Chen, who had witnessed Earth's final moments. The Krillian warships appearing without warning, their weapons turning oceans to steam and continents to ash. Eliza had been among the last to escape, watching through tears as her planet cracked like an egg, its molten core exposed to the cold of space. Maya blinked away the vision. Begin the operation. The human fleet moved like ghosts through the void, employing stealth technology developed over millennia of preparation. 117 vessels, carrying what remained of humanity, roughly 4 million souls, all that was left after the Great Exodus and the hard centuries that followed. "Commander," called Science Officer Imani Okafor, her dark fingers dancing across the console. "I've completed the analysis of the artifact." Maya turned her attention to the object suspended in a containment field at the center of the laboratory. A metallic sphere no larger than a human fist, covered in geometric patterns that seemed to shift when viewed directly. They had discovered it 3 months ago in the ruins of an ancient civilization, extinct long before humans left Earth. "Is it what we thought?" Maya asked, hope creeping into her voice despite her efforts to suppress it. Imani nodded. "The translations confirm it. This is a nexus key, capable of manipulating spacetime on a planetary scale. With this, we could do to them what they did to us," finished Maya. The moral implications hung heavy in the air. For 3,000 years, humanity had rebuilt, adapted, and prepared, all for this moment. The plan had always been retribution, an eye for an eye. But now that the means was within their grasp, Maya felt the weight of the decision. "How many Krillians on their homeworld?" she asked quietly. "Approximately 11 billion, Darius replied, "plus another 30 billion throughout their empire." 11 billion lives. More than twice the population Earth had hosted before its destruction. The mathematics of vengeance suddenly seemed obscene. "Commander," came a new voice. Jonah Reeves, Maya's second-in-command and oldest friend. "We've detected an anomaly at the edge of the system." The tactical display shifted, showing a cluster of ships, unlike any Krillian design they had encountered. "Unknown configuration," Darius reported. "Not Krillian, not any species in our database." "They've spotted us," Jonah added. "They're requesting communication." Maya hesitated. The plan had been to remain undetected until they were ready to strike. An unknown factor could jeopardize everything. "Open a channel," she decided. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a humanoid face, oddly familiar yet alien. The being had silvery skin that seemed to shimmer with internal light, and eyes with vertical pupils that regarded Maya with unmistakable intelligence. "Greetings, children of Earth," the being said in perfect English. "We have been waiting a very long time for you." Maya's hand instinctively went to her sidearm. "You know who we are." "How?" "We know many things about you. We know why you have come. We know what you plan to do." The being tilted its head. "I am Sentinel San of the Estrine Collective. We, too, have a debt to settle with the Krillians." Hope and suspicion warred within Maya. What kind of debt? The Krillians did not begin their campaign of destruction with Earth. They have been harvesting worlds for millennia, taking what they need and discarding the rest. Sand's expression darkened. Our homeworld was among the first. Why should we trust you? Maya demanded. Because we offer something more valuable than vengeance, Hixan replied. We offer truth about why your world was destroyed and about what the artifact you carry truly is. Maya's eyes narrowed. How do you know about the artifact? Because we created it, Hixan said simply. It is not a weapon, Commander Chen. It is a key to rebirth, not destruction. The war room erupted in whispers and murmurs. Maya silenced them with a raised hand. I'm listening, she told San. The Krillians did not destroy Earth out of malice or conquest, San explained. They did it for what lay beneath, a substance we call primordium, the building blocks of creation itself. Earth was rich with it, unusually so. They killed billions for a resource. Maya's voice trembled with rage. Yes, but that substance, that essence of your world, was not completely destroyed. It was harvested, and with the Nexus key, it can be restored. San's eyes seemed to glow brighter. You came seeking vengeance, Commander. We offer you something greater, a chance to rebirth Earth itself. Maya stared at the alien, trying to process this revelation. That's impossible. Is it? San challenged. Your own scientists have already determined the key's capabilities. What you lack is the knowledge to use it properly, and access to the primordium the Krillians stole from your world. Which is where, exactly? Jonah asked, skepticism evident in his tone. At the heart of the Krillian homeworld, San replied. They built their capital atop the largest primordium repository in the galaxy, a combination of your world's essence and that of dozens of others. Maya exchanged glances with her officers. The plan had been simple: destruction for destruction. Now, they faced something far more complex: a chance to restore what was lost, but at what cost? If what you're saying is true, Maya said carefully, we would still need to breach their defenses. Yes, San agreed, but not as enemies, as thieves. The Estrene Collective possesses technology that can cloak a small team, allowing them to infiltrate the primordium vault. With the key and the substance reunited, you could recreate your world elsewhere in this system. And what do you get from this arrangement? Maya asked, suspicion still coloring her tone. Justice, Ixan replied simply, and the satisfaction of knowing the Krillians will watch as their victims rise again. As the Estrene ships moved alongside the human fleet, Maya stood alone in her quarters, staring at the holographic image of Earth, a planet she had never known except through inherited memories and historical records. The choice before her was momentous: vengeance that would make humans no better than the Krillians, or a risky gambit that might restore what was lost. What would you do? She whispered to the image, thinking of her ancestor. The answer came not in words but in feeling, a surge of hope that outweighed the anger. Earth had not been just rock and water. It had been possibility. Perhaps that was worth fighting for more than revenge. Maya touched her communication panel. Assemble the strike team. We're going with the Estrene's plan. As she looked out at the distant gleam of the Krillian homeworld, Maya wondered if humanity's future lay not in avenging the past, but in reclaiming it. Vengeance and rebirth. The Krillian capital city of Vextahar sprawled beneath Maya Chen like a glittering cancer, its crystalline towers reflecting the light of twin red suns. From her vantage point, in the cloaked Estrene shuttle, the city appeared beautiful, a painful reminder that even monsters could create wonder. Final approach, whispered Sentinel San, the alien's fingers dancing across controls that seemed to respond to thought as much as touch. Remember, Commander, once we land, we have precisely 47 minutes before the planetary shield reactivates. Maya nodded, checking her phase pistol one last time. Beside her, the strike team, 6 humans and 4 Astrians performed similar preparations in tense silence. Among them was Imani, whose expertise would be crucial for handling the Nexus key, and Jonah, who had insisted on coming despite Maya's objections. If this goes wrong, Jonah had argued, someone needs to finish the mission. Someone who understands what's at stake. The shuttle touched down in a maintenance yard on the outskirts of the Primordium Processing Center. A massive structure shaped like an inverted pyramid, its apex driven deep into the planet's crust. According to Xan's intelligence, the facility housed not only the primordium extracted from Earth, but also the means to identify and separate it from other sources. Cloaking fields active, Xan announced. We are invisible to their sensors, but physical contact will still reveal us. They moved like ghosts through the facility, their presence masked by a Astrian technology that bent light and dampened sound. The Krillians they encountered, tall, insectoid beings with carapaces the color of burnt amber, continued their work unaware, manipulating controls that regulated the flow of what appeared to be liquid light through transparent conduits. There, Imani whispered, pointing to a display above one workstation. Those are Earth indicators, atmospheric composition, geological markers. They're processing our planet's essence. Maya's throat tightened. To see Earth's remains treated as mere raw material ignited a fury she struggled to contain. Focus on the mission, Jonah reminded her gently. They descended deeper into the facility, following Xan's guidance through labyrinthine corridors until they reached a massive vault door emblazoned with Krillian script. The primary repository, Xan explained. Beyond this door lies the essence of dozens of worlds, including yours. Imani stepped forward, placing a device against the security panel. This will take a minute, she murmured. While they waited, Maya studied Xan more carefully. Despite the alliance of necessity, something about the Astrian leader nagged at her, a sense that they weren't being told everything. You said the Krillians destroyed your world first, Maya said quietly. How long ago? 7,000 of your years, Xan replied without hesitation. And you've been waiting all this time for revenge. Xan turned those vertical pupils toward her. Not revenge, Commander. Restoration, just as you seek. Before Maya could press further, the vault door slid open with a pneumatic hiss, revealing a chamber that took her breath away. Suspended in the center was what appeared to be a miniature galaxy, swirls of luminescent matter contained within a massive energy field, colors shifting and pulsing like a living thing. The combined primordium of 47 worlds, Xan said, awe evident in the alien's voice, the essence of civilizations erased from memory. Imani approached the control console, her expression focused. According to these readings, Earth's primordium is concentrated in that blue-green spiral. The system should allow us to extract it, but... An alarm suddenly blared, red lights flashing throughout the chamber. We've been detected, Jonah shouted, drawing his weapon. Impossible, Xan responded, but the confidence had drained from the alien's voice. The vault door slammed shut behind them, and a voice spoke in Krillian, then switched to heavily accented English. Intruders identified. Human genetic signatures detected. Security protocol engaged. Maya turned to Xan, suspicion blooming into certainty. You knew this would happen. The Astrian's silver skin seemed to pale further. I calculated the risk, yes, but the opportunity. You used us as a distraction. Maya realized, fury building. What's your real plan? Before Xan could answer, the far wall of the vault dissolved, revealing a contingent of heavily armed Krillian guards, led by a figure different from the others, taller, with a carapace that gleamed like polished obsidian. I am Archon Vex Tellar, the leader announced, mandibles clicking between words. Architect of your extinction and keeper of your world's essence. After 3,000 years, the vermin returned to the light. Maya raised her weapon, but Jonah placed a restraining hand on her arm. They were outnumbered and outgunned. Why? Maya demanded, addressing the Archon directly. Why destroy Earth? We posed no threat to you. Threat. The Krillion's compound eyes gleamed with what might have been amusement. You were insects living on a treasure. Your existence was irrelevant, merely an inconvenience to our harvesting. The casual dismissal of her species' genocide struck Maya like a physical blow. You slaughtered billions for a resource. As one might clear pests from a garden before harvesting its fruits, the Archon replied. The primordium beneath your world's crust was particularly rich, the result of your star's unique properties. A pity your species developed intelligence. It made the extraction messier than preferred. While they spoke, Maya noticed Imani slowly positioning herself near the control console, the Nexus key concealed in her palm. And what of the Estrenes? Maya asked, trying to keep the Archon's attention. Another world you harvested. The Krillion's head tilted. Estrenes. There is no such species in our records. Maya turned to Xan, whose silver skin had begun to shimmer more intensely. Who are you really? The being that called itself Xan seemed to grow taller, its form becoming less solid. We are what remains after destruction, the consciousness of worlds consumed. We exist in the spaces between matter, waiting for vessels strong enough to carry our purpose. Understanding dawned on Maya. You're not allies. You're parasites. We are survivors, Tan corrected. And we offer a bargain the Krillians never would, life for your people, in exchange for serving as our instruments of justice. Now, Maya shouted to Imani, who slammed the Nexus key into a receptor on the console. What happened next occurred in a blur of motion and light. The containment field around the primordium fluctuated, creating a temporary barrier between the humans and the Krillian guards. The Archon bellowed orders as chaos erupted. The key is active, Imani called over the din. Earth's primordium is responding. The blue-green spiral within the suspended galaxy began to pulse more brightly, tendrils of energy reaching toward the key like a living thing seeking reunion. The being that had called itself Xan moved with impossible speed toward the console, its form now clearly inhuman, a shifting mass of light and shadow. You do not understand what you're doing, it hissed. The key will respond to the strongest will present. If you cannot control it, we will. Maya lunged for the key, her fingers closing around the metal sphere just as Tan reached for it. A shockwave of energy pulsed outward, knocking everyone, human, Krillian, and the false Estrian, backward. In that moment, Maya felt the key's power surge through her, connecting her to the swirling primordium. Earth's essence recognized her, reached for her, as if the planet itself had been waiting for this moment. The Archon struggled to his feet. Stop them. The primordium cannot be released. But it was too late. Maya felt knowledge flooding her consciousness, understanding beyond anything human science had achieved. The key wasn't a weapon or a simple tool. It was a conduit between consciousness and creation itself. It was never about destroying your world, Maya realized, speaking directly to the Archon. It was about recreating ours. With that understanding came clarity of purpose. Maya reached out with her mind through the key, calling to Earth's primordium. The blue-green spiral responded, separating from the larger mass and swirling around her. Get to the shuttle, she commanded her team, maintaining her concentration on the key and the primordium, now orbiting her like a personal galaxy. As they fought their way back through the facility, Maya felt her connection to the Earth's essence growing stronger. The primordium wasn't just matter, it contained the memory of what Earth had been, down to the smallest detail. What about the other worlds? Jonah asked as they reached the shuttle, gesturing to the tendrils of different-colored energy that had followed them, breaking free from the main repository. They come with us, Maya decided. No world deserves what happened to Earth. The false Estrenes attempted to board as well, but Maya used her newfound connection to repel them. Find other vessels, she told the entities. Your deception ends here. As the shuttle broke atmosphere, the Krillian planetary defenses opened fire. The human fleet, which had remained hidden, suddenly emerged, engaging the Krillian warships to create an escape corridor. Aboard the flagship Remembrance, Maya stood in the observatory, the Nexus key floating before her, surrounded by the swirling primordium of Earth and dozens of other worlds. The fleet had jumped to safety, beyond the reach of Krillian pursuers. "What happens now?" Jonah asked, standing beside her. Maya gazed at the colorful swirls of planetary essence. "Now we find a suitable star system, one with the right conditions. Then we rebuild." "We could still strike back," Darius suggested from his tactical station. "With this power." "No," Maya interrupted. "We didn't survive 3,000 years just to become what destroyed us. There's been enough extinction in this galaxy." She turned to Imani. "How long would it take to recreate Earth using the primordium and the key?" The scientist considered. "With what we've learned, perhaps a year to establish basic planetary formation, another decade for full ecological restoration." "And the other worlds?" Imani smiled. "The same. We could create a system of restored planets, a monument to what was lost and what can be regained." Maya looked out at the stars, feeling the weight of 3,000 years of exile lifting. The quest for vengeance had led them not to destruction, but to rebirth. "Set course for the Valkyrie Nebula," she ordered. "There's a young star there with potential for planetary formation." She touched the emblem on her chest, Earth, whole and blue. "It's time to go home." As the Remembrance jumped to light speed, Maya felt the presence of her ancestor, Dr. Eliza Chen, who had witnessed Earth's destruction, not as a memory now, but as a promise fulfilled. 3,000 years of waiting had not ended in fire, but in the possibility of creation. Humanity would rise from the ashes not as avengers, but as creators, and that was a vengeance far sweeter than the Krillians could ever understand.